Now, dreaming about retirement is not only fun, I mean, this is absolutely critical. And how can you have a successful retirement if you don't know what you want in your lifestyle?
Here to talk to here to talk about it this morning. It is Monday. Oh
Monday,
my gosh.
people.
It's Omaha's retirement strategist, Darrell Bryant.
It is. Darrell's one of the area's leading financial advisors and retirement planners. He also hosts his own very own weekly retirement radio show on 1110 KFAB. Good to see you, Darrell. Thanks for coming in today.
Nice to be here. Thanks. Yep.
Listen, we're talking retirement, but you have to start thinking about this. Like, what do you want? Do you want the early bird special, or do you want 5-star dining? Or do you want, maybe you want to play at the public course, or do you want a private golf club? I mean, these are things you got to have, discussions you got to have with maybe your spouse or significant other.
Sure, sure. Yeah, I mean, if you don't know what the target is, how are you going to hit it, right? So the first thing we have to do when people come in the office is say, what exactly are we trying to do here? When do you want to retire? What does the lifestyle look like? And as important as anything else, Mike, is to put a price tag on that lifestyle. And then, of course, we'll give an inflation adjustment above that, year over year. But many people will come into the office and they'll be ready. They'll know what they want. They know what their lifestyle is going to look like, but not all the time. And so we really have to start from there. It's really common when people come into my office, because my industry has trained them in this way, is they think that we want to talk about their stuff. They think they want us to talk about their investments and, hey, we're going to come over to our camp, we're going to make you more money. This is really not, I mean, we want to grow dollars, but this is not the point of retirement planning. We're trying to develop an income plan, and if we don't know what the income need is, in other words, add up all your stuff. Well, how much does it cost to do all this stuff, right? And then that's really the basis of retirement planning, isn't it? And everything else is secondary.
So do people generally know what kind of lifestyle they want, or do you have to remind them to start thinking about that?
That's a good question. So, and here's the problem with people who are ready to retire. They've had discretionary income. And if you've had discretionary income, then you probably don't know what your budget is. If you have a pile of money laying around, you've done that because you have discretionary income and you save some dollars. So more often than not, folks who will come in the office that feel they're probably ready to retire, within 5 or 6 years, or maybe they're 58 or 64, whatever. And we start taking our clients about age 55 and beyond, right at point of retirement or getting close to it. But they'll come in, and the problem is they say, well, we want to do this and that and the other thing. Oh, I guess it's about this much, to live. Well, they don't know what that number is. So we do have a worksheet that'll help them to identify what are we going to do, and how much are we going to spend on travel? What are we going to do? Are you going to golf? No, I'm not a golfer. Whatever it is. But everybody has a different lifestyle, but nobody really knows what their budget is if you have discretionary income. It's just the way it is. So that's the first thing, is top line number.
Yeah. So, there's people out there that may have that pile of money, but the thing they need to figure out is if that pile of money is going to get them through the retirement phase and the lifestyle that they want. And so how do you back into that?
Yeah, the first thing we have to do is determine what is the lifestyle cost. Once we know what the lifestyle cost is, then we have to inject so to speak, the known income, Social Security, cash rents, rental properties, etc. You may have an inheritance that is kind of probable, and you're on speaking terms about that type of stuff with your parents. So we need to understand the numbers before we can do any kind of real math. The interesting thing is, for example, I had a client in last week. He's working with, he was working with 3 different advisors, and in the past 30 years, nobody's ever actually shown him an income plan, and so it was very foreign to him, as it is with most people. Most people will sit back and say, well, no, there's an income plan, right? He was really having a hard time digesting that we weren't talking about just growing dollars. We're actually setting up an income plan, and here's segment 1, and here's the way we're going to fund it. Here's segment 2, here's the way we're going to fund that segment, by doing real math. It's just an area of expertise that's just vacant, in my industry.
Here's my personal question. Is it ever too early to start thinking about this? I mean, I kind of have an idea of what I want to do when I retire, even though it's a long ways away. But when do you really start planning?
Right away.
Right now?
Yesterday would be good.
Setting it up, yeah.
5 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, when you're young, the easy thing for financial planners is working with somebody that's really young, because you say, you know what, how much do you have in discretionary income? All right, save it, and then you begin to build your lifestyle around that. You become accustomed to a certain lifestyle, Kelly, and then eventually you want to carry that lifestyle into retirement. But yes, start now. It's never too early. There's all kinds of articles around Omaha World Herald this morning, getting ready to retire. It's a big deal. Nobody knows how to do the math on this retirement issue. So anyway, it happens to be an area of expertise for us.
But you're right, planning early, starting when you're younger, I mean, it just compounds even more. You get a bigger pile of money when you start a little bit younger.
No doubt.
But real quick, thinking about what you do when you retire and how you're going to pass the time, and the first step of putting together a master plan for retirement. Well, step 2 is scheduling a retirement readiness review with Darrell and his team. And here's the number for you to call for your complimentary appointment. It's 402-932-2141.
Now, you must be approaching retirement or already retired before you call. And Darrell, tell us more about a retirement readiness review. What does that entail?
You throw your stuff in a box, and you come on
All
in.
the numbers,
that's
throw
the
the numbers in the box.
What have you done so far to prepare for retirement? We're going to do 401k X-rays. We're going to reduce fees. We're going to reduce risk. We're going to show you how to use index funds instead of mutual funds. We're actually going to do some math and do the math that you probably are not familiar with. Even financial planners are not familiar with this. The most important thing I can tell you is don't be intimidated when you come in the office. You're in a great big boat. I don't care if you're a CEO or doc, architect, anything, any walk of life. Nobody knows how to do this math, so don't feel intimidated by that. You throw your stuff in a pot or in a box. You bring it, don't bring it in a pot, but throw your stuff in a box. I'm going to ask you some very specific questions. We have a checklist that we'll go by. You'll feel very comfortable. Dane's going to bring you a couple of cookies and a nice cappuccino, and we'll just talk it over and just start from scratch.
Yeah, well, you bring up a good point, because a lot of people have financial advisors through the course of their life to help save. Then they get to you. That's where they transition over to a professional retirement planner like you. And Darrell and his team are there for you. Again, the number to call, 932-2141 for a complimentary retirement readiness review. Darrell, thanks for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Love to be here.
So much.
Yeah, guest of the Morning Blend.